Welcome back to the Keeping It Real with KC podcast. I, of course, am your host, KC Phoenix. I'm doing a daily thought. I'm doing 2 final daily thoughts for this podcast. I'm redoing the podcast, as some of you already know. And the daily thoughts will be removed, but it's going to be added to a different type of podcast. So no worries on that. I'll announce it when that's fully set up, because I'm doing multiple things right now. But let's get into this daily thought right quick. So, tower had to fall. Interesting thing happened. All right. Now, and this is funny because stuff changed within a few days. All right. So, I have my Netflix and chill friend, Capricorn. So, we're using astrological signs. So, Capricorn was saying that he's probably moving out of the state. So it's like, okay, Netflix and chill friend is about to leave. Before Capricorn told me this, I had spoke to Aquarius, who I hadn't really dealt with a lot lately because Aquarius is inconsistent, which that's usually an Aquarius. They're all air signs are all over the place, especially Aquarius, which is fine. You know, it's whatever. So with that person, it's kind of like, all right, well, you're all over the place. I'm dealing with Capricorn because Capricorn is more consistent. And I enjoy spending time with Capricorn. So Aquarius gets upset because Aquarius wanted to Netflix and chill. And I'm like, well, I'm pretty much exclusively dealing with Capricorn. We're not in a relationship or anything, but we just decided, hey, let's kind of make this arrangement exclusive. Because you don't want to be all over the place Netflix and chilling with everybody. Because ain't nobody got time for that. So yeah. So Aquarius gets upset and is like, well, if that's the case, then I'm just going to go ahead and delete your number. Okay. Good luck. What do you want me to say? Good luck. All right. So then that happens. That's 2 people. Then Virgo calls me up. Hadn't spoke to Virgo in a minute. Like a good minute. Virgo was the reason I started dealing with Aquarius. Because Virgo was saying they were going to be consistent at the beginning. But then they started working so much. And it's like, okay, wait a minute. What you sold me and what I'm getting are 2 different things. So it's like, okay, well, if you're not making the effort, I'm not making the effort. Okay, fine. So that's how all of that went down. So after all of this stuff happened with Aquarius and Capricorn, Virgo pops up out the blue and it's like, hey, you want Netflix and chill. And for those who are not familiar, Netflix and chill is a metaphor for fun time. All right. So I was like, well, I've been kind of dealing with someone. So not really looking, but then I was just told by that someone that they were leaving, whatever. And honestly, I feel like the universe is trying to clear some stuff out of my life. Like the tower had to fall. Now, the funny thing is, about 3 days later, after Aquarius said, oh, well, I'm just going to delete your number then. Because I didn't reply back because I didn't care. Let me tell you something about zodiac signs. People get it twisted with my sign. Cancers, because we so loving and we want to help everybody and save the world and all of this other stuff, because that's just our nature. We're the mother of the zodiac. But please don't get it twisted. If there is one sign in the zodiac that can show you how not to give up, it's Cancer. Because when we get annoyed, or if we're done with something, we are so done with it. So, yeah. So when he was like, well, I'm going to delete your number. Okay. Good luck. So I didn't reply back because I didn't care. So about 3 days later, I'm at the movies with Capricorn. I kid you not. I'm at the movies with Capricorn. We went to go see The Boogeyman, which, by the way, that movie is he liked it because he likes horror movies. I'm not a big person on horror movies anymore. I used to like horror movies a lot when I was younger. Not so much now. It's just not my thing. And that's fine. As our lives change, so do our needs. So I'm at the movies with Capricorn and get a text from Aquarius What are you doing? Sir, I'm at the movies. What movie you watching? Look. I left it alone, and then when I finally got home, I was like, I watched The Boogeyman, da da da. So now Aquarius is texting me again. I'm just like, what's going on here? Because, so then ended up having another conversation with Capricorn. Capricorn's trying to figure out how to stay because Capricorn doesn't want to leave. But due to job situation and other things, Capricorn is sort of doing like a Hail Mary pass to see if they can get a job and be able to keep the job, because their problem isn't necessarily getting the job, it's getting to the job. So yeah, and I'm just like, but it just feels like the universe is trying to clear a path for something else, or it's trying to reorganize these people in my life to get me to something more solid than Netflix and chill, if you know what I mean. I'm fine with that. And I feel like the tower had to fall, where it's like, okay, this is fine, but at the same time, there needs to be something more. I also, because again, your thoughts create things. Whatever you think about a lot usually starts to manifest. And one thing that I've thought about a lot, where I'm always, oh, that must be the Amazon person because I see a shadow outside my door. Because I ordered some stuff. Also for my new podcast, by the way. So, yeah. But anyways, so I thought a lot about like being in a relationship. Like, do I want to be in a relationship with someone? I don't even know, because sometimes I get irritated with people. So I was like, okay, I think I do. But if I'm in a relationship, this is the other thing too. And this isn't just like gay community or anything like that. This is just in general. I've noticed this throughout the years. Like with marriages and stuff like that, you think everything is good, but then when you get the behind the scenes look, and it's like, wow, you guys are just not really monogamous. So I'm like, okay, I thought marriage was about monogamy, but hey, what do I know? So yeah, you find out things like that. For me, and I'll keep it 100 with you, I have a very good appetite when it comes to certain things. And I own that, and I'm fine with that. And I don't judge people who do or don't have an appetite when it comes to certain things. Do you? You have free will. However, comma, if I'm in a relationship, I'm not about that life. I believe in monogamy. I don't want to be with anyone else. Now, will I find attraction to someone else from time to time? Yeah, we're all human. That's whatever. But as for being with someone else, as for trying to pursue someone else, if I'm with a person, I don't do that. So for me, I would want someone who is of the same mind, where it's like, okay, yeah, we want monogamy. We're not about to be out in the streets doing all of this other stuff. And then also, I have to be in love with you or have the ability to fall in love with you. If I feel that there's not the ability to fall in love, where it isn't a possibility, then more than likely it's not going to work. And that's the other thing too. I honestly feel, this is just my opinion, you know me, I honestly feel that one of the reasons people like cheat in relationships and stuff is because they're not in love. Because when you're in love, it's a whole different ballgame. It's like you don't really want anyone else. The only person you want to be with is that person. The only person you want, it's almost like, you know, when good news happens, who do you want to call first type thing? It needs to be that person. If that person is not the person you want to call first when something good happens or when something bad happens, then more than likely the possibility of being in love isn't there. And definitely in that moment, you're probably not in love with that person. I know, because I've been in love before, and it's rare. I was actually in love with another Aquarius, totally different Aquarius. And it's a different feeling. And I remember I had that conversation with someone many years ago who was like my silent business partner when I owned a travel agency. And we were talking about love. And she said to me, she said, trust me, when you're in love, you will know it. It'll be totally different. Because I was telling her like, well, when I get in a relationship, I don't want to deal with this. I don't want to deal with this. I don't want to deal with that. And she was like, well, if you fall in love, it's going to be different. I'm like, what do you mean it's going to be different? It's like, if I'm saying I don't want to deal with it, I'm not going to deal with it. And she's like, nope, trust me. When you fall in love, it will be different. So I did. And I saw what she was talking about, because certain things that this person did that I was in love with, if anybody else did it, it would more than likely be a conversation. But because this person did it, I didn't. it wasn't as huge of a deal for me. So yeah, I kind of feel like the universe is clearing away, whether it's involving the people still that are currently in my life, Netflix and chill people still staying in my life, or whether it's just removing them from my life completely. I feel like the universe is clearing a path for me to get to actual love, monogamy, all of that other stuff in a relationship. So either it might be one of the people that I'm dealing with, or it's just going to be someone new that comes into my life, and then it's going to be like, bam, here it is. But what I do know is that the tower had to fall. For those who are not familiar with the tower, it's a card in the tarot deck. And the tower usually falls when a major change needs to happen, or when something was something was built on shaky ground, like it wasn't solid. So the tower has to fall in order for something to be rebuilt again, or for something brand new to be built, so you're starting new. And then in addition to that, it's also about knowledge. One thing, I forgot what her name, I want to say is Higher Source Tarot is her channel. I'm pretty sure that's it. If you haven't checked her out, check her out. And one thing she mentioned with the tower, where the lightning hits the top of the tower and then the people are jumping out, and there's the crown there, usually on like the traditional tarot card. And she was saying that particular part is talking about new knowledge, new information found. And I feel like with this tower falling, is bringing out new information for me to figure out, okay, how do I move forward based off of the information I have now? That is kind of what I get. But the point is, the tower had to fall. And for some of you, it's the same thing in your life. And it doesn't necessarily have to be my type of situation. It could be something totally different, where you're like, wow, all of this stuff is happening now, where it's like things are being removed from my life, or things are being reorganized in my life, where it's not the same as it was, and it won't be the same anymore. That's because the tower had to fall to get you on the right path to what your heart desires. So yeah, and that's my daily thought. KIRWKC.com, main podcasting platform. Until next time, be blessed.